Hi everyone, Aiden here. Sorry about the little side, but I've had a series of bloopers after a few tries to get part 2 down. I should have left them in, but oh well. So this is my part 2 of tips for a college pagan, Wiccan, however you want to label yourself, I guess. Because this isn't just for Wiccans, this can go for pagans too. I just wanted to talk about like some places you can get information, a few things you can do in the dorm to decorate, and be a little bit more open. So I'm just going to go through this, still go through my little list that I wrote down, just of certain topics I want to talk about. Now let's say you don't have a pagan group. That's a better one to word it. Pagan club. You don't know any new age shops around your area, which there's bound to be one or two, or they might be a little too far away. What you can do is you can always go to the Wiccan chat rooms. There's a lot of friendly people out there, and you still have to be careful. Basics, internet safety, of course. But there's a lot of good people out there. I've met quite a few friends through that way. And you can still learn quite a bit from other people. I mean, it's still interacting with others and getting information from multiple sources instead of just books. And you learn more from learning from others. And there's actually a few sites that actually offer online classes. And this one I actually discovered very recently. It's called witchschool.com. There's an actual channel by the one of the leaders of the tradition, and I'll put a link down to both that website and the channel. I really like it. Very informative. One of the fastest growing traditions out there, and actually one I'm trying to study to get into. I'm actually taking classes and learning to go through the first degree. I'll put it down at the bottom because I don't want to go and butcher it up because I still can't pronounce it right. You know me with pronouncing words. The classes are free. Well, the basic ones are free, or you can join, becoming a member. You can do what I'm thinking about doing is where you get trained to go into the clergy, and you can become a priest or a priestess with that training. Going through the degrees. It's $50 for 3 years, or you can just do the yearly membership where it's $20 per year. Either one's fine, and you don't have to pay. There's many great free classes, especially when you're first starting, in there that are absolutely free. I really enjoy it, and I really recommend it for anyone who's just getting started. Really good info. Now that I'm done advertising, YouTube, of course, is another great example. I mean, if you weren't on YouTube, you would never have known my videos, and I hope you're following me. That'd be nice. But there's many sources out there, many good. There's a lot of good info. Just take every bit of info that you get in with a grain of salt, as you would with any source of information. Don't believe exactly what certain people are saying, because they might not know completely what they're talking about, or the information might not suit you. I'll explain like stuff with ritual tools. For a while I felt like I didn't need an antheme. That was just how I felt. But everyone told you gotta get an antheme. I never felt like I needed one. Or what wand's made out of. That there's a lot of people who say you have to follow this direct path, or this is the right way, and that's not true. Take the info in, but realize that this is coming from multiple sources. So, kind of pick what you believe is true. Why did I just do that? I don't know, I'm weird. I get nervous, weird when I'm nervous. Alright. Now, you're at college, and as great as studying paganism and Wicca is, especially when you're first getting started, I know it's addictive. It's kind of like taking a like, you know, that I hate. Let's just say it's highly addictive. I don't feel like comparing my religion to a drug because I just know that's a bad idea. But you gotta really study what you went to college to do. They're telling me for every hour you're in college, you need to spend 6 hours studying, which that's what you're there for. So you definitely need to put a lot of time in your studies, but you can put time off to study the craft, and you can put time off for the rituals and stuff like that. Take a study break to do meditation, but just make sure that you balance the two out and you don't neglect either one a little bit more than the other. Now, finals, exams times, you should definitely be studying what you're learning in those classes. Especially if the test is the day before the exam, and that's the day you usually study Wicca. If you would have to skip that day, you can skip for that day for that 1 week to make sure you pass those classes and get the grade you need to do. I have to say that it feels completely right, and that's what I believe. I'm sorry if I look like a nerd, but that's what we're meant to do in college. Meditation areas. Now, if your dorm's like mine, it's kind of small, and you're not really gonna have many options to choose from. But my opinion, the best place to do a meditation is wherever you're comfortable, which could be on your bed, which I do, especially over the winter, or it could be like outside, an area by some trees, which I sometimes did during the earlier fall, and probably will in the spring. You could always do it by a river, which I really like to do, and I actually sat down and did some, even though I was freezing. And pretty much anywhere you feel comfortable and you can get some peace, just kind of get a break from break from the outside world and just be at peace and be one with nature. You can definitely go there and definitely set some times to do that. I like to do mine before I go to bed. It's just more practical like that because I'm a walking zombie in the morning. I'm a night owl, not a morning person whatsoever. So, you know, just do that. Like I always say, you can do a 15-minute meditation like once a day. That's great, and it really helps up here, especially with college where it's like, hey, I need to study for this exam. I'm going to bomb it. It helps with the stress. Also, if you're having friend drama and all these arguments, and if you're having relationship problems like I was earlier in the year, meditation is great. Very useful. Alright. Okay, I'm already down to the one last thing on my list. Which is very fun. Decorations. Now, you can do this any way you want to. You could be as blunt as I am, where I have a coexist flag up. I sometimes have my ritual tools on my desk, including my FMA. You could, set it up for the different sabbats coming up. Sabbats. Wow. Like, you could have like small pumpkins around, and fallen leaves for Samhain. You could have, like, what I'm planning to do for Imbiok is have red and white candles all over the place. You just bring in a bunch of stuff from nature and kind of decorate it. You can make wreaths. You can make your own pentacle out of twigs, which is really fun. You could have planted pots, like we have a cactus over there. Bring in some plant life. Have some natural life energies in. Make it interesting. You could have drawings up. Anything that suits your style and expresses you and your beliefs, you can put up. As long as you and your roommate have that agreement. I had to talk a little while to do that. It's still not allowed with the altar, but I'm fine with that. But if you're lucky enough to have an altar, definitely have one. It's great for meditation. It's great for spells. And it's all really good. I mean, if you can do it, great. Like if your roommate's that tolerant, or your roommate was so intolerant that he decided to move out because you stood your ground, then definitely do it. That goes to a relatively story, and that could be related to one story that I could talk about, but I will discuss that another day. So yeah, that's pretty much it on my tips for college pagans. Just remember to balance out your studies between both what you learn in class and what you learn in the craft. You take responsibility. You don't buy too much books. You don't buy too much supplies. You don't do things without your roommate's permission. You don't just do things and not discuss them. Not discuss it first. Make sure you have an agreement. And try to make as much connections with those in the craft and those outside of it as well. You can learn valuable things from people of other faiths and other belief systems. I am going to do a video fairly soon about Jesus, probably. This is my views on who Jesus was and my views on the teachings and all that, which some of you will probably find fairly interesting. Any really fundamentalist Christians will hate me to death, but I want to express my views. But yeah, just take the time to learn many people from different backgrounds, because you can learn a lot from other people. Just remember to take it all with a grain of salt and just be respectful. So with that note, I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to be doing other videos where I'm going to do like a video about the inverted pentacle and the swastika, as well as many other hate symbols, and try to trace them back to what they meant historically, and kind of represent how hate groups tend to strip away the really peaceful symbols and use them for their symbols of hate. I really want to do that wolf moon videos, which I might do next. It's only going to be like a short 2-minute video. There's not a whole lot for me to talk about. I'm probably going to do more book reviews. I'm going to show off all my books. I'm going to show off all my tarot cards. I want to talk a little bit about spirit work and a little bit about meditation and different forms of divination I've learned, including fire, scaring. I'm probably going to come up with a bunch of ideas, because I'm going to probably want to procrastinate pretty often, but I will have to balance the two out, like I said, and follow what I preach. But hopefully I'll be putting out a lot of good videos out, and I hope you enjoy them all. With that note, thank you for watching, and blessed be.